podcast. I am Alli. I'm here with Daisy and Dani, and it's been a little while since I've seen you guys.
Yay! Hi, Alli. We missed you.
Welcome
missed
back.
you too.
I feel like
Thank
I haven't
you.
seen you for so long because we talk so much in the week. It was like when I was away in Charter, I was like, oh, I haven't seen you girls in so long.
It's quite sad. Are we codependent now?
I know. Give us an update, Alli. Tell us what you're up to. What's happening?
So I've had my baby, for those who don't know.
Congratulations!
Thank you. His name is River, and he's 5 weeks premature, so he's at the moment in NICU. So I'm spending all my days in hospital, which is why I've had no time to schedule with you guys, which has been pretty inconvenient for just general life things, but definitely for podcasting things. I'm like, gotta choose one or the other, but I had to choose my baby over you guys. Sorry.
Oh, we'll forgive you.
Thanks. But today's topic, we are going back in time, and we're going to be talking about us through our teenage years, those prepubescent and those puberty years, and all of it, all the like nitty grittiness of what shaped us as women today.
Yeah, they were rough
Wow.
years. I
know.
I definitely think my dad is pretty relieved at the person I turned out because it was really touch and go there for a while. It was like, could have gone one way or the
Could have
other.
gone one way or the other. It would have been like jail, dead in a ditch, or reality TV star. So you picked the right
Yeah.
path.
Totally. I know, I always look at myself as a teenager, and when I think about, obviously you two are mums, when I think about having children, I'm like, I don't know, I'm like them as teenagers.
So
like
I.
we were walking along the park yesterday and there was all these teenagers like drinking and smoking. I was like, no. I would be losing my shit. I would be like, where are they? They need to be at home.
I know. I was a vile teenage girl. I was so vile to my parents. I was one of those ones that would be like, slam the door, scream, it's not fair, you're ruining my life. But I was hideous. So when I found out River was going to be a boy, I was like, thank God. That's what I want one of me.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I know.
I was very well behaved. So
Were you? But
Good.
you were an only child, Dani, with a single mum. Am I right?
No, I have 2 younger brothers.
Do you?
Yeah.
You didn't
I
talk
never knew
about
that.
them.
You guys didn't know that?
No.
Do we even know each other?
I honestly always thought you never talk about them. I always thought you were an only child.
I have 2 younger brothers. They are 20. How old am I? I'm 33. They are 27 and 25.
And what are their
the hell?
names?
Well, all right. So their names are Mirosmar.
Mirosma.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And Welsom.
Wilson. They're cool
Yeah,
names.
that's perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. We go.
Actually,
go to
I'm
the
about to
song.
be an aunt.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow, congratulations!
At the end of this month.
What the hell? Do we even know you, Dani? I'm so I'm like blown away right now. We all talk all day, every day, and we're just
You
finding
never
this
mentioned your
out.
brothers. Okay, am I right though? Your mum's a single mum.
She is, yes.
Okay, thank God. I'm like,
Imagine I was like, no, my parents have been married their whole life. What are you talking about?
I'd be like, fuck, I really need to
Wow.
listen more.
Yeah, maybe we're just really shit friends, Daisy.
I think that's it. I'm pretty sure I mentioned my brothers before. Or maybe
Oh.
not. I don't know.
No, you haven't.
Thanks.
You haven't at all.
But I was a pretty good teenager. My mom she always says that she's proud of her eldest.
Oh, that's cute.
Cute.
Yeah.
That's
Aw.
cute.
I'm the black sheep, so I don't get that title.
Well, me and my sister, we were 2 peas in a pod. We were both awful children, awful teenagers,
Oh, you poor
constantly.
parents.
Yeah, we
Oh,
really
no.
were bad. But we came out, both of us came out pretty okay. It took a lot of hard work. It took a lot of private
sure?
school. Yeah.
I like the phrase "pretty okay."
I mean, we have
Could
jobs.
have been worse.
We didn't get pregnant. I mean, at least you. Well,
Hey!
at least. I mean,
Wrong audience here.
I think at 34 and 31, my parents would be okay if I got pregnant. I think they would be like, they wouldn't be sat there like rocking back, like, oh god. Yeah, it's more like, is she gonna get pregnant? Is she gonna have a baby? No, but we didn't get pregnant at like 15 or 18 or even 22, which should have been quite young. But
my mom had me when she was 19, so I was always very scared I was going to have a baby early. I was so scared.
That's young. That is
Yeah,
young,
that's very young.
Yeah, my mom
young.
is only, she's from my mom is gonna be 53. No, sorry, 53 this year.
wow. My mom was the opposite. She had me at 40, so she's
Wow.
74. Yeah. So
wow.
and she had my
Especially
sister.
back then, that's not common.
And she had my sister at 43. That's why, like, when anyone like puts pressure on me, I'm like, no, I have good genes. I'm fine. I'm like, I've got loads of time. I would happily have a baby at 40. That's what I'm aiming for. 6 years.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's a good timeline.
Yeah. I feel young.
wanna
I'm
know-
healthy.
I would wait. I love you, Lily, but mommy would wait.
Now, I want to know, Dani. Let's start with you. Can you just set the scene for you as a teenager? I want to know, like, your style. I want to know what your bedroom was like. I want to know what music you were listening to.
Alright, so I'm gonna answer a couple of these questions with one answer. So my group at school, we were called the Nirvanas.
Okay.
Nirvanas.
Like in
What?
Nirvana, the band.
Oh, like just after
they
the
were-
band, not the definition of the
Because
word.
I had black eyeliner, black clothes. Remember Avril Lavigne with those baggy pants with a chain on the side?
Yeah.
Those Converse all the way to my knees.
Oh my god, so you were like a
Which orange
you were like a little
Punk,
rock
emo rocker.
gother. Yeah, emo.
emo. Yeah, I don't like to admit this, but I was more emo than punk and all that.
Okay,
But...
favorite bands. Tell us your favorite bands then. We listen to The Used.
Oh,
That's emo.
definitely. Remember Simple Plan?
Oh my god, I love Simple Plan.
Five.
Yeah, that was like my anthem. Everything was unfair and my life was shit.
I know. It's like crying, dry your tears with mine, and it's like, it's so unfair.
Yeah, so
Nothing.
dramatic. So dramatic, but so valid.
I know. No, Simple Plan. I loved Nirvana. I loved Blink-182 was a big one.
Yeah, I love Blink.
I was an emo child, but I used to. I didn't used to. Never did drugs as a teenager. I drank. I drank from when I was maybe like 13, 14. We had this friend. Her parents worked all day, and her house was kind of central. So all the and her mom was really cool. So all the friends used to meet at her house, and we used to make a big mess. We had like food fights at her house. We had like, it was amazing. Her house was the best place to be. But that was us, that's it. We would go home and do food fights, and we'd go to a cyber cafe.
Was that a regular occurrence?
Computer, It's us. Hardcore.
Wholesome. Oh my god, that's so
Sorry
cute.
guys, I don't even have much to say.
That's so cute. You need to put a photo. We're gonna put some photos on the YouTube clip for anyone who wants to see us in our original form. But Dani, you need to find a photo of you dressed like an emo. Do you have any? Please tell me you do.
I don't think I do. Guys, you remember how pictures were
Damn.
expensive? You had to, and you never would, you would get a 34 film thing, and maybe 2 would be really good, and the rest would be
Yeah.
shit. I don't even have baby pictures because of the same reason, which is so sad. I really
That's
wanted
so
to have a
sad.
baby picture to compare with Lily.
I know,
But
that's so
I don't.
sad. Aww. Well, Daisy, what about you?
So I was not an emo child.
Rebel.
I haven't really changed that much. I was pretty girly back then. Still pretty girly. But I was definitely, rebel without a cause. I definitely hated authority. Yeah, the symphony was on big time for me. Carried around my little violin. But
What?
for myself, like, no, not violin. I'm talking my little violin. Yeah, no, God, no.
Translation there, I was like, what?
No, I'm not talented. I was shit in school. I always skived off sports. I honestly was constantly in trouble, permanently in detention. Got suspended twice from school for drinking. But I definitely stayed true to my, like, look. Like, that's what I kind of want. Like, everyone goes through these phases. I literally dressed the exact same 30 years ago as I do now.
You know who you are.
I remember moving school, and I'm still really good friends with these people, and they were, like, the emos, goths and stuff, but we all wore uniforms, and they invited me out one day to hang out, like, in the local town or whatever, and I was freaking out about what clothes to wear because they all wore like the heavy eyeliner, the parachute pants, and I'm like, I don't have anything. So I picked black tracksuit bottoms because it was the only thing I had black, and a baby blue Gap hoodie. So I was like, it's baby blue, but it's a hoodie.
For emos.
Honestly, I'll never forget this day. It stands out in my mind so much. And we're in this town with all the skaters, and they're all smoking pot, and, you know, like full emo. And I'm like, hi guys, like my blonde hair. But yeah, I definitely stayed true to myself. I'm like, you know, like my first CD was Savage Garden, obsessed.
That was my first CD.
Oh, I loved it.
Stop.
So, did I text you when I was having like that fangirl I think I did when the main guy was on the podcast with Hannah,
Yes.
and he was like, they were talking about me, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, stop it. I was like having a
Karen
full fangirl moment that this guy who's my first CD, my dad went to London, and you know when your parents go away, they get you a present, and came back with this Savage Garden album, and I, you know, and you play it on repeat because that's all you have for hours and hours, and then, you know, plus 15 years, he's talking about me and how funny I am, and I was like, oh my god.
That is epic.
Yeah, pretty fun moment for me. But yeah, so like Boyzone, obsessed. Like I had a Boyzone belly top, and I like lived in it.
Oh my god.
What's a belly top? It's
Like a crop top, yeah. But nowadays, yeah, back then you called them in the 90s. Like nowadays you don't really call them, but they were belly tops because it's exactly that, a crop top. And it was my parents, because my parents are pretty strict, and this was like the only thing that I was allowed that was remotely sexy. And I was young, I was like 13 or something, and the only thing that I was allowed from Boyzone, and I wasn't allowed to ever go to concerts. I had this weird thing about concerts, but yeah, like Spice Girls, you know, big Spice Girls fan. Boyzone was my thing though. So yeah, I was a pretty girly kind of girl, but I definitely a rebel. Like smoked, drank from young, from like 12 maybe. Bit of pot, not much, but a bit, and never did drugs. Never. I never had sex. I was pretty boring in that sense, but I was the girl in class who would stand up to the teacher. Like I have not changed that much. I'd be like, yo, what do you say?
It sounds like you're describing you now.
Pretty much.
That's exactly the
smoke,
same.
drink, don't do drugs, don't really have sex, tell people where to jog off. Pretty much haven't
That's
changed.
pretty accurate.
That's so funny. That's so good that you haven't changed. Like you're being always like that.
Yeah, it's
True to
kind
yourself.
of. I quite like it because I see a lot of most people go through phases, and even with their hair color or their clothes sense or whatever, and I'm like, no, always been the same since a little girl. Very happy with it. Never like you know the way I don't wear makeup in work. I never wore makeup in school. I was one of the only girls right up until I graduated. I was like, why would I wear makeup? Like, who am I trying to impress? And everyone else is like caked in. I'm like, no, not interested. Not wearing it.
That's so funny. I had every hair color. I had red hair, blue hair, purple hair, straight hair, curly hair, short hair, long
You
hair.
still do now.
Yeah, I was
though,
gonna say
Dani.
that's still kind of your thing.
It is me. Like, yeah.
Did you decide if you're gonna crop your hair, cut your hair
will.
all off?
I messaged the hairdressers today because they were like, "Oh, we're about to open soon," but soon it's like more than a month away, anyways. But
You're gonna look amazing. I think it's gonna look
for
fabulous.
the moment, I still think I will. Let's see what happens when he gets there. Because I don't know. I think my
You
face
have
is
a-
quite.
Yeah, you have a
round
good
now?
face. Oh.
No,
I was gonna say
you'll
Yeah, and I was like,
you can pull it off. I know you will.
oh, I don't know.
I know you will. You're super ballsy with your hair. I love it.
We'll see. We shall see.
I'd look like a plucked chicken. I have such a small head.
What about you, Ali?
Yeah, that's your turn.
Oh god, I had like every identity crisis that I could possibly have by the sounds of it. I went through, like, I started off being really into like hip hop. Like, Eminem was my like Lord Savior. I was absolutely worshipped him, and I was gonna get Slim Shady tattooed down my forearm when I was 14 years old. Thank God no tattoo artist would let me because I was so young.
Stop it!
Can
You
you imagine?
actually went into the tattoo artist.
Yes.
Oh my god.
How embarrassing that would be. I'd never have a boyfriend. I'd never have a job if I had Slim Shady tattooed
You
down
could.
my
I'm
forearm.
sorry. If you walked onto Parcel,
Oh
I'd be
my
like, no.
God,
I'd be like,
Ali.
you can't.
Yeah, you're like, see ya.
I can't work with
Thanks
this
for
girl.
no thanks.
He's only allowed after 18.
Yeah, I was just like, I was all hip hop, and then I started listening to metal, and I turned into like this angry teenager that I would put Slipknot Subliminal Verses album
Okay,
on.
I love Slipknot.
Oh, yeah, you do! I remember we connected over this, actually. I still love metal.
I actually think you would be worse as a child than I was. I was pretty ballsy,
Me?
yeah. But I was never that.
not me.
I just drank
About you.
and talked back. I was never like. I was an angry child for sure, but I think you would kind of scare me. I think I'd be like, like locking my door at night.
I
Three
was
of
very-
us were teenagers together, we wouldn't be friends. We would be
We
completely
definitely
different
would be
groups.
friends. Yeah, but you
And
know
I
what?
would-
My friendship group at school, we were nicknamed the Plastics, so we were like the popular girls, and that was so not. Yeah, that was so. So I was all over the place because that was so not me, and I was always like a bit of the weirdo at school, but no one dared pick on me because I was friends with the popular girls, and I was so confident that people just didn't pick on me. I kind of like walked my own walk, and I managed to get through high school really easily without getting picked on. Even though I was so weird. And then like outside of school, I had my own friends, and I was hanging around. So in the suburbs of Melbourne where I grew up, there's lots of commission housing. So all my friends were like the kids of commission housing. So we were hanging around, like, you know, going to parties around the streets. There was lots of drugs around because the parents, like half of their
Is
parents
that like
did
government
drugs.
houses, commission
Yeah,
houses?
government houses. Yeah. So it was like I had all these different worlds that I was just like slotting myself into. But it was never in a sense that I didn't know who I was. I just was so open to life. Like I really wanted to experience every facet of every different dynamic. So I really achieved that, I think.
Yeah. I think it's so hard up to this day. I agree with it's not because know who I am. Up to this day, some days I want to be like, I want to put a lot of black eyeliner and listen to Slipknot and put a compass and
I support
Yeah,
that.
that's fair.
It's fine. And some days I want to wear all pink and put a pink eyeshadow and pink lipstick, you know.
Oh, Daddy, my whole bedroom was painted. All the walls were bubblegum pink. It was
Oh
when
my
I was growing up.
God.
Yeah, you would have been you would have been shocked because Danny and I have this thing with our Pita party covers, and she always wants them pink, and I always want them not pink. So it's like a constant hot topic. But yeah, my whole room was like.
It is a
bright
shocking
pink.
revelation.
Yeah. Peeling back the layers. I want to know, okay, this is like the most fun part. I want to know everyone's story about how they lost their virginity. And Daisy, I want to know yours first.
God, mine's boring. I'm so boring. So I was the last of all my friends. Ali's shocked that I think I was 19. I was either 18 or 19, but I'm pretty sure I was 19.
What?
Yeah, I could have been 18. I had this real thing about, like, I mean, as much as a crazy child I was definitely had no interest in losing it young. Like, I was pretty switched on as a child. So I could recognize I was a child when I was young. So even though, you know, you do the whole, like, I want to be an adult, I just had no, I felt no pressure to lose my virginity. I felt no reason to.
Good.
Yeah, it was, so I very much had in my head, I was like, no, I want to be like 18 or whatever. But then 18 came and I was like, okay, it's time to lose your virginity. So I was either 18 or 19.
How many
I can't remember.
Cosmopolitan magazine articles did you read to get to the lead up?
Oh
of you
God,
losing your
I just
virginity?
find them. Do you know what? I always read those, and it was actually never from my own experience. I just find it fascinating, which I still do. I find sex stories. Where's Cosmopolitan? We need them back. Maybe I need to go into the shop and read them.
I know.
I kind of
I
feel like my
know.
drama series. I get a bit of an insight back into the Cosmopolitan sex Q&As.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's true.
wow, that's full on. Yeah.
The things people get up to, you like, what?
That's what I'm telling you. I'm like the most vanilla person when it comes to sex. I'm like, this is a lot for me. I'm like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, we did learn this actually when we did our Let's Talk About Sex Baby podcast, when you guys were both like, oh, being spat in the mouth, that's just way too far. I was like, oh.
Well, you know what? Each to their
Is there something wrong
own.
with me, or is there something wrong with you?
Each to their
As
own.
long as it's consensual.
Consensual.
Is that the word?
No.
Consensual.
Consensual. Yeah, when both parties want it. Now I'm questioning the
As
word.
long as you both want it. Yeah. Whatever the word is.
I know.
It's fine.
I'm. You know what, Ali? If I ever get a boyfriend and maybe I have sex longer than 3 months, maybe we'll get bored and maybe I'll try spitting in their mouth. But I've never.
Yes, and think of me when you do
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I mean,
With something else, Daisy, before you start with this speaking.
yeah, maybe. I think that's probably part of the reason why I'm so vanilla. I'm like, I've only date people for like 3 months, so it'd be a bit fucking weird if I like walk in and I'm like, drink my piss, and they're like, whoa, like we've barely been on a third date. Anyway, yeah, so I'll keep you updated when I get a boyfriend. But yeah, so I was quite like, self-aware and I was way after all my friends. Didn't bother me at all. Thankfully, I never ever felt peer pressure ever. My whole childhood, they all did drugs, they all were having sex. I was like, no, not interested. I'd hang out with them and I was like, no, I'm happy here with my Wicked and my cigarette. And but yeah, it was about 18 or 19 and I was like, okay, it is time to actually lose my virginity. So we were away in Spain and we met these like group of guys and we were hanging out with them, and one of them, he's pretty hot. I slept with him and yeah, that was it. I still remember the pain.
How was it?
I can still remember the sound.
How long did it go for? Oh, the sound. Wait, what? Hold on.
I'll
What?
text you afterwards. I'll text you and tell you.
What?
But how long did it go? God, that I can't remember. I can picture the hotel room. I can picture me. I can picture me walking home being delighted with
Was it
myself.
first time?
Pardon?
Did he know it was your first time?
I don't think he knew, no. Because it was basically a one-night stand. We've been hanging out with him for like a few days, and we still kept hanging out a bit. But no, I don't think he knew it was my. I mean, maybe he knew after we had sex. But
He was like, wow, that was shit. Or maybe he'd be like, wow, that was really tight.
I was probably like, wow, that was really tight. But I don't know if it could have been shit. It just kind of lay there, which apparently most girls do. So, I mean, I probably wasn't far off most women.
I wouldn't meant to do, but that's okay.
What?
So that's not quite what you meant to do. That's starfish.
Do you know how many men have come back to me being like I'll be like, oh, how was sex with this girl? And they're like, they literally lay there. And I'm talking about women in their 30s, like full. I've heard this so many times. That's why I think guys keep coming back to me, because I'm like, I mean, I mightn't spit in your mouth, but at least I won't lie there. No, I think it's like a really,
it's all about balance.
Really common thing, Dani. Like really common. I hear it a lot.
How can you be starfish? I don't understand it.
Yeah.
How can you just lay
Yeah,
there?
like I hear it.
That's why a lot of people don't like sex.
I hear it a lot. But yeah, so basically that's what I did anyway, which worked fine for me. And I mean, I couldn't imagine he was that experienced.
Got no
either.
complaints, so we'll just roll with that one.
But yeah, I saw him a year later. We had sex again. In Ayia Napa. But yeah, that was my leasing. It really wasn't anything.
He came back for seconds.
Well, I mean, we just happened.
That's good. That's successful.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, mine did not come back for seconds. Definitely not. I had this guy that I was like in love with, like totally in love. I used to chat to him on MSN all night, every night after school, because I went to an all-girls school, so it was kind of hard to meet boys. And I was just like besotted with him. I used to literally go, I would walk home from school usually, but instead of walking home, I would go to the train station, catch the train to the station that his school was at, and hang out there literally just to see him. Like, I was so in love.
Loser.
I know!
But did he know you were coming, or did you just turn off?
I would just turn up and pretend I was just like... I know. I just turn up and pretend that it was like part of my route home. Everyone knew I walk home from school. Like, it was not a casual thing, but in my mind, I convinced myself he would never know. So I was just fancied this guy for like 2 years. Eventually, like we started dating. So I did wear him down.
Yeah. Oh, persistence
By the way, I'm
is
not
key.
like this anymore.
I am No, persistence is still key. Trust me, it works with me. I'm like, I keep going and I keep going and I keep going, and eventually they're like, fuck me. They're like, sure, did I tell you about the time when I hooked up with this guy and I kept getting into his bunk? And he was like, I don't remember any of this. And he was like, Daisy, stop. And the next morning I was like, oh my God, how did I end up in here? And he's like, you wouldn't fucking stop. He's like, for a full like 40 minutes. So I was like, well, how did we end up having sex? And he's like, again, you really persisted. So I eventually gave in, and I was like, wow, persistence, I tell you.
Oh my God.
I still cringe.
You pulled a Sydney.
Oh yeah, it was.
Did I say that? Oh.
It was. I'm still like, when I think about it, it gives me goosebumps all over. But persistence is key. Eventually,
Oh God, I like
though.
the total opposite now. I like do not chase anything or anyone. I always want to be chased. That is the game that I play hard. But yeah, I definitely didn't play it back then. I was 15. I was like
Cute.
Yeah, I was like, I just was in love with him, and then we ended up having sex, and it went for about like 7 seconds maximum.
Well, how was the lead up to having sex though? Like, where were you?
I started hanging out with him at his house, because we were sort of seeing each other, because obviously back then you don't really go on dates as 15-year-olds. You see each other at a party and you go for a walk, and then you end up making out in the bushes or something. But then that escalated to where I'd start hanging out with him.
Was his parents there?
He only lived with his mum, and his mum left to go out for lunch or something. She was only gone for a very short time, so
to get it in quick.
Nabbed that moment. And we only needed a short time. It was like literally 7 seconds. And yeah, and I was literally like, afterwards, I'm like, oh my God, is that what sex is? Wow. What? I'm like, how am I going to do this for the rest of my life? Sex is the worst thing ever. I thought it was so shit. And yeah,
why did you think it was shit? Because it was like awkward or sore or pointless or...
So she didn't come in 7 seconds.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
and who
7
comes at
seconds,
15? It took me about 15 years until I came. Pretty sure I came last week for the first time. I'm like, oh, that's what an orgasm is. That's not true, but it might as well be.
You just have years of faking
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Like, oh, now I get it.
Oh yeah, I do admit I do fake an orgasm quite regularly. Not now,
I fake it a lot.
but I mean sometimes.
If I'm drinking, I'm like, it's never gonna happen, so I just like pretend like I'm having a great time.
Yeah, same. If I'm drunk,
Yeah.
sorry, we're going for hours.
Yeah, yeah.
At this point.
I'm like, I need to go to sleep. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah. This is my cue. Oh yeah.
If I'm sober though,
too
if I'm
funny.
sober, I won't let it go. I'm like, this, we're gonna keep going until this happens.
Oh god, yeah, just use it till it drops off.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they've got to learn somehow.
Yeah, well, that was my first. I really enjoy sex now, but my first experience, I was mortified, and I thought about it for weeks after. I'm like, oh my god, how am I going to do this again? Anyway, he ended up hooking up with one of my friends on my birthday, on my 16th birthday, on my bed. Fingered her on my bed, and that was like 2 weeks after we'd had sex. So
Did you kill him?
I was.
It's okay if you did.
Fuck, man.
I was devastated.
Yeah, I
I
bet.
was absolutely devastated. I was in love with this guy for 2 years, and then that was the moment that I was like, I'm playing it hard to get for the rest of my life, and I've not strayed from that one. I'm just like, I will
my
never
God.
let anyone do that to me again. It
I
actually,
literally let them do it
like-
to me all the time. I have not learned.
Daisy, you need to
I know, I have not learned my
Yeah.
lesson.
Daisy's persistence is key motto is not really paying.
Alli, you both have babies. You're in a relationship. I'm pretty sure the way I'm doing things is not the right way. I'm not under any illusion to think that anyone should take dating advice from me.
Yeah, fair point. Nobody should take advice from me either. But
Well, you've
if you want to message us before you message people, let us know so we can approve before you send
so
it
I
off.
can give you my bad dating advice. Yeah.
Yeah, and just do the opposite
Yeah,
of what
exactly.
Daisy would do.
What days wouldn't do?
Yeah, exactly. That's a new segment.
What wouldn't Daisy do?
Yeah.
What about you,
Daddy,
Danny?
what about you?
So, do you remember the boyfriend that I saw him cheating on me behind the school?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was him.
Refresh the story a little.
So I was almost 17 when we started dating, and when we were dating for like a month, I caught him cheating on me behind the school with a lady who was 10 years older than us, had 2 kids, was married, and it was his neighbor. So
She wasn't the teacher,
was
was
pretty
she?
That's gross. That woman is gross.
No,
That's
I don't
so
even know what she-
nasty.
it is like, how are you a 26-year-old hooking up with a
I'm
16-year-old?
sure that's illegal.
Oh,
And
that's
it's your
so
neighbor.
weird. That's
Yeah.
so weird. Wait, is that against the law?
It could be.
I think in Brazil 16 is the minimum
Yeah, I
age.
think
Oh,
16 in
okay.
most countries. 16 is young.
Oh God.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. But yeah, so I end up going back to him because he said he was going to kill himself, and my mom made me go back to him because she was like, what if he does? You can't, carry the guilt.
God. Oh my God.
And I was like, great. I'll have to have this guy as my boyfriend then, I guess.
what a catch.
Yay! But then, to be fair, like, sexually speaking, he was very patient, and he was really, like, caring. So, I don't actually remember when I lost my virginity. because it was such a progression. Like, you know, we
that's
were like
nice.
doing things, and he was like really nice, and one day it happened, and it was great because it was a nice progression of things. It wasn't like
stick it in, stick it
big
out,
event,
and
like
run away.
yeah. So it was really good. I actually had a good experience.
God, I think that's
that's
quite
nice.
rare. Yeah, that does sound nice. I'm quite jealous.
We dated for 3 years after, you know, he cheated on me. So
What? Wait, how long were you dating before he cheated on you?
1 month.
Oh, okay. So he learned his lesson, did he?
I don't know. I cheated on him.
Oh. Sounds like a healthy relationship. That's what teenagers do, don't they? They just make all the mistakes.
Can't trust this boy. Like, I'm only literally with him so he doesn't kill himself.
So why did you end up breaking
Also-
up?
Because then I guess afterwards we end up like, kind of, we're almost codependent, I would say. We used to play video games together, computer games. And we had these characters, my character and his character. He used to play with my character. So we call up the same character.
You're such a loser.
This has gotten
I'm like,
real nerdy all
Me
of
and
a
Ali are
sudden.
like, wow, this is the most unsexy story.
Yes. I think I kind of started zoning out all of a sudden. My eyes just glazed over.
So even then I'm boring, guys.
No. Joking.
It's cute.
Codependency.
So you were more
so-
like friends
Oh,
then.
God.
Yeah, we shared everything together. We had our circle of friends were the same. We used to go, you know, play the same games, play the same character. We were, we were quite alike as well. We had the same kind of taste in things. So it was really good. Apart from the beginning, we were good for each other. When we broke up, I broke up with him. And he didn't believe that I broke up with him. And he used to come and pick me up at school. And I was like, we've broken up. And he's like, oh, I didn't think this was serious.
Oh my God. That's like, I think I've watched, I don't know what comedy, but some TV show where someone gets fired and then he just goes back to work the next day. Like, we fired you yesterday. He's like, oh.
Sounds like The Office, or something that would happen in The Office or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trust me, that's pretty much
I watched that episode.
pretty
Yeah,
much
whatever
that's
it is, it
my
was really
I'm
funny.
basically your ex-boyfriend. That's pretty much how I end up dating people. They're like, we're not a thing, and I'm like, what do you mean we're not a thing? And then like I'll come back up the next day and I'm like, hey, and they're like, Daisy, we're not a thing. And I'm like, and this will go on for months. Pretty much.
Oh my God. Daddy and I were literally crying.
You know it's true. Ali especially knows it's true.
Daisy, we need to stop
I know.
that.
Yeah,
I know.
We're gonna do a boot camp, a dating boot camp to like whip you back into
Well, no, I'm
shape.
coming to Australia and you're hooking me up with one of your hot friends, Ali, so...
Yeah, my best friend's literally.
Yeah, I
obsessed
would
with
date
me.
him.
She's
If
gonna
he's
get
your best
married,
friend,
so-
and he's hot,
Yeah.
so I'm okay with that.
And he's really
Yeah.
funny, and he lives in a marble
And he
palace.
loves me, so... and he lives in a marble
does.
palace. Fine with that.
It's like an apartment with like
You need
marble.
Daisy.
I'd love that. Great.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I think me and him
Oh my
will be a
God.
great match. I'm fine with it. If he listens
Totally.
to this.
Yeah, you guys both love drinking, so
perfect.
that's a good start.
Yeah, I'm excited. As soon as the borders open, yeah, I'll fly over to Australia, he can take me on a date. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can get real pissed. The foundation of true love.
And I I love
But we should have a meeting before, though. Be like do's and don'ts
Yeah.
for Daisy while
don't
dating.
stall, don't persist. If
Don't tell them you faked
yeah,
an orgasm.
if they say no, they mean
just
no.
fake it.
Oh.
Oh god.
Oh god.
This ended up being more like a relationship podcast. We just have so
I
many
know.
stories.
Oh my god, I know.
We could probably talk more. Well, we'll have to do another segment about teenage years because, yeah, I definitely have a few stories, but more like about drinking and getting
Yeah,
in
as
trouble
do I.
and, Yeah, I definitely have a few more stories.
Maybe you guys can do it together and then I can take the day off.
No, Daisy and I can bond over, like, I was showing you guys the photos of, like, we're showing each other photos of us as teenagers, and my eyebrows had, like, I don't know, at least half a mile between them. Like, overplucked them. They were as thin as Pam Anderson.
Oh my god.
See, this is another thing.
And
I was so lucky. I never touched my eyebrow. I don't know why. I was so self-aware.
It was Cosmo Magazine.
I
It was.
never.
Cosmo Magazine taught me
It was-
how. I was like, what is
I
this?
never had the desire. All my friends plucked their eyebrows because obviously the real 90s look. And for some weird reason, I was like, I was a really strange child and things like that. I was really set in my ways. And I was like, no, I have no interest in... I never touched my eyebrows. Like what I do now, plucked a few here. But thank God, and I love my eyebrows. And obviously it's in now. But when everyone else had the Nike ticks, I was like, nope, very happy with my eyebrows. I was like, I love them.
I had literally Nike.
Yeah,
They
I
went
honestly
like
think
that.
I'm probably one of the only people of our generation that never went near my eyebrows. And I remember so distinctly being like, I have no interest. Like, I don't like your eyebrows. I think you look mental. And being like, I will not.
Yeah, the repair of that era takes a long time.
Some people never recovered.
Some people never
Was it
recovered. Pam
you-
Anderson, she
Danny,
never
was
recovered.
it you who said your mom?
My mom doesn't have eyebrows, poor thing. She has a line.
Oh. Oh, it's
Literally a line. It's
Because
like
literally
that.
the hair won't, like, you know, it'll grow back for a certain amount of time. But eventually it
If you pluck it
Yeah.
up, it doesn't grow.
yeah, that's pretty funny. But yeah, I was lucky. I never fell into those traps. I did a few. I like ironed my hair. That was a big one. I definitely ironed.
Oh my god, with an
Yeah.
actual
I
iron?
got it.
Yes, same.
Got-
So bad for your hair.
I've done that this year, guys, during the interviews, the green screen, because there was no straightener and my hair was too curly.
Are you serious? Wait, on Parsifal or?
No, it was here in Australia.
Oh my god, that is so funny. Well, you know, those habits, they
Yeah,
die
yeah,
hard.
exactly.
I think Lily's calling me.
Signaling the end of the podcast. This has been fun
Yeah,
though.
happy to have you back, Ali. And
Oh, it's nice
yeah, I
to
think
be
we'll
back.
have to do another segment because there's definitely a lot more to talk about on this topic. But gave some insight there, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
nice talking to you guys. I can't wait to hear more
Yeah.
stories soon.
Yeah, and Danny, it's nice to learn that you have
Yeah.
two brothers. Like,
Thanks for sharing.
That's been a good revelation in itself. What the hell?
Okay, girls.
Alright,
See you
guys.
later.
And guys, don't forget to tell us your stories, rate our podcast, give us suggestions, and
Yes.
share it.